Do you ever wonder why is it that sometimes we are doing all the actions under the sun and yet for some reason it doesn't lead us to breaking past that revenue ceiling? If that's you, I want you to keep listening because today I'm going to give you one of the main blind spots that keeps entrepreneurs stuck at similar revenue ceiling. And no, it's not in the doing more, it's all in our mindset, our business and money mindset that we may not even think about. So today we're talking about judgment, how judgment can keep you stuck from going to that next level of income. And most entrepreneurs are actually surprised when I talk to them about it, how judgment might be blocking your client and income attraction. So let's talk about two different types of judgments. Judgment against yourself. Have you ever felt your mind judging you that you're not doing enough, or you're not achieving enough, or maybe that you've been a bit too lazy, or for whatever reason? Every single time when your mind judges you, I call this inner critic mode. The mind turns against yourself. And if you think about it, when it comes to manifesting clients and money, it's all about interaction of the self, the human mind, the human emotions with universe or higher powers. And if your very own mind turns itself against yourself, then you're not manifesting. And you might also feel very off, very low, right? Because if you're judging yourself, if your mind judges you, then you're not feeling very empowered to take actions and to change more lives and to attract more clients and money. So, judgment of self is a subconscious block, and it happens sometimes automatically because that's how our mind is programmed to get into that inner critic mode. And judgment of others. Now, this one is a tricky one because, again, we may not even see it, but it does block our manifestations. So, I had this interesting situation with my sales team member during our last event, our last converting event. Now, my sales team member is very aware and she understands that her mind, when it gets into judgment, it blocks manifestations and she's not so open to intuitive hits, inspired ideas, flow of clients and money and sales. And so she comes to me and she says to me, Eva, I'm battling with judgment. My mind is judging people because they're not responding to my messages quickly. And my mind is telling me that they are ignoring my messages, they're avoiding my messages, and that they're not committed to their goals. And we spoke for a few minutes and I helped her work through this judgment. So how did we work through this judgment? Well, I shared with my team member one of my best ways or easiest ways to deal with judgment is to create a new identity trait for yourself. So for instance, when your mind has tendency to judge, then you can create an affirmation about yourself, your identity trait, who you are from now on. That is in the likes of, I assume the best about others. I always assume the best about others. I give them the benefit of the doubt. And so when I shared this with my team member, I was like, hold on a second. What is actually happening in the physical world is the person is not responding quickly or not responding at all for a few days because it's a weekend. And the mind is judging them that they are ignoring your messages or they are not committed. Now, what if we stepped into the shoes of someone who always assumes the best about others and gives them the benefit of the doubt? What would be a more empowering thought about them? Well, maybe they're busy. Maybe they're respecting their weekend, their family time, and this is why they're not responding. Maybe they're responding with short messages or not responding at all because they got confronted. They were in and suddenly the mind or the circumstances are stopping them from investing in themselves with us. So they're still committed, they still want to do it, but something got in the way. And my team member is so brilliant, she switched like that. And within just a few minutes, she shifted her feeling of judgment into assuming the best about others. And by that evening, she already received inspired ideas how to help both of these ladies actually get back on track and get into communication with us. Now, why is it that judgment of others blocks our manifestation of clients and money? Because if you think about, and this is a bit more spiritual view, if you think that when we judge another, it's like judging self. Or from a subconscious point of view, if you judge another, you're lowering your vibration. Judging others makes you feel off, right? It doesn't make you feel excited. It doesn't make you feel joyful. It doesn't make you feel fun. All these high vibrations where you're receiving guidance and intuitive hits how to help somebody join your program or buy your product, you feel low, you don't feel like taking actions, and you're definitely not receiving ideas how to make a difference. And so judgment is inner critic projected outwards. So if we understand that if we are someone who grew up with maybe somebody else criticizing us regularly or demanding highly upon us, why did you get a C, not an A? Look at your cousin Anna, she's doing better, you should do better. Then we develop what we call inner critic, or that symptom of the mind where the mind judges us, makes us feel smaller, compares us to others, and just, keeps us to huge standards. And if we are below these standards, if we operate below the standards, it's being hard on ourselves. And so if we have the habit of judging ourselves, we also are very likely to judge another. And this is nothing wrong about you, this is just a habit. And what we want to recognize is how this doesn't work in attracting clients and money. And in this situation, specific situation, that judgment was stopping my team member from creative ideas how to help the person get back into communication and also join our courses and programs. Now, how do you deal with judgment of yourself? Again, I would create an identity trait. So, okay, if you have tendency of judging yourself, like, being hard on yourself when you make a mistake or you don't hit your target, comparing with others, feeling like you haven't done enough, making yourself feel smaller, then what I would create is I love myself unconditionally and I'm always assuming the best about myself. I let go of things quickly. I forgive myself quickly. I love myself unconditionally, no matter my results or my body shape. That could be one of your affirmations. Or I am always kind to myself in my mind and my words. And so then when you have that identity trait, every time judgment comes in, you're like, no, that's not who I am anymore. I'm not someone who judges myself. This stops me from attracting clients and money. I am someone who loves myself unconditionally. And no matter my results, no matter if I make mistakes and I let go of things very quickly, I forgive myself very quickly because that's what someone who loves themselves unconditionally does. Right? So then you might hear that inner critic telling you, oh, you didn't do enough, or you look at the such and such and you're not performing as well. And you're like, shut up. That's not who I am anymore. I love myself unconditionally no matter what my results and no matter what my body shape. I forgive myself that mistake. Let's get back on the horse. Let's enroll clients. And then literally your energy shifts in 2 minutes. You're back to creation mode. You're receiving intuitive ideas, inspired ideas to help more people with your products and services, and you're attracting. So I want you to sit on it for a few minutes and really think about, do you relate to these moments where judgment tends to block you from manifesting clients and money easily? And when you do, can you create new identity trait for each? The judgment of self or the judgment of others, and step into that identity whenever next time judgment shows up. And be okay with slipping, because when you're creating new habit, new identity trait, your mind may go automatically into the old, the pattern of judging yourself, the pattern of judging others. But the more you course correct, the more you become that next version of you who does not judge and who assumes the best about yourself, assumes the best about others, forgives quickly, and you will be attracting 10 times quicker and easier the clients and the money that you've been wanting. So I hope this has been helpful for you, and you're seeing how this can be game changer. And it's not by working harder, it's actually just by thinking differently, changing your mindset. And if you enjoyed this tip, make sure that you check out our free 5-day masterclass that's coming up soon, where I teach you more tips like this around mindset and strategies, the very tips that help me go from 5K per month burning out coach, first year into my business, to multi 7 figures, scrapping 25% of my working hours and releasing time to enjoy my life while I'm making an impact. To have time for myself, my self care, take care of my well being, to have time for my loved ones, for travel, and still help more people and change more lives and attract more income. If you would love to learn step by step, we have one of our free masterclasses coming up. The link is in the description of this video. Join us. Let's learn. It's only 1 hour per day for 5 days, and you're going to be transformed after these 5 days. It's just going to be, and it's going to be more of what I'm just sharing. Not working harder, thinking differently, different mindset, different simplifying your strategies, and then multiplying your income as a result. So looking forward to seeing you there, and let me know in comments what are you getting from this video for yourself and your business. Have a lovely day.